Welcome back to Tom's Garage. I ain't even gonna say it. Good morning, everybody. Today, all day. Man, I had such a drought lately, man. I am. Look at that. Pow. Nothing in here but that. Pow. That's what we're gonna do today. Full service on the John Deere D110. Yep. And I'll show you something too. This is crazy. Got the Nicky carburetor. Ooh, have you ever seen one surging that hard before? Good grief. Woo! New carburetor, new set of blades, full service. Put a tube in that tire right there, it keeps going flat with her. Yep, so let's get set up and let's get started, fellers. Y'all hang with, we're gonna do it. We have got the 19 horse Intech Briggs, and what we're going to use is a 793 569 air filter. This is the Kohler style air filter, fuel filter, 2405013. I like using those are good filters. RC 12YC, I don't know why I got two of them out, I'm not working on a V-twin. 492932 oil filter. And it's going to be a 594605 Walboro style carburetor I'm going to put on there. Get that Nicky off there. And blades. GY20850 is the part number, I believe, for the blades. First thing I'm going to do is take the deck off and put on that table over there. Because I'm going to take these covers off. It's just full of stuff. Clean them out, that way I can get to the grease fittings and go ahead and put the new blades on without having to jack this thing up. So let's get the deck off. Get the deck off, bring it on. Get that spring off of there. All right. Just kind of let this hang somewhere. Find somewhere to stick this. Okay, we'll let it hang right there. Oh, let's see. We got a pin here. And the washer. You know, John Deere routes their engagement cables right in front. Right in front of that pin right there. And that is aggravating sometimes to get to that. Okay, got that pin, we got this pin. And we'll get this pin right here. Get the belt off of it. Okay, that's everything on this side. After I get the deck off of it, I'm going to let the oil just drain. If it's got a good long tube sticking out, I'll just let it drain that way instead of using the Mighty Vac. And just let it drain. I don't care if it drains for an hour. And your service manager's hollering at you, "Hurry, Dobby, we got to get this thing out of here, boy." But I don't have a service manager to answer to. And we got a pin here. Let's see, let me go around here and get that other hanger off. We're going to check the level of the deck. After we get it put back on with the new blades. Okay, she's ready to come out. Let's grab a jack stand. I'm gonna check the. I know her blades are ruined, but I'm gonna see just how bad they are. I couldn't stick my head under there because it's got that mulch cover on there. Let's take a gander. Oh yeah, they're chewed up pretty good. Yeah. Well, are they upside down? They are. No, they're not. Worn out so bad, it looks like they were upside down. Yeah, this one's missing a whole end of it right here. Wow, those things are in horrible shape. Wow. Wow. Let me grab a tool and get them covers off. Three of them on this side. Uh-oh, she's gonna need a new blade belt. Look at there. Yeah, that one's got a chunk taken out. I'm glad I went ahead and pulled this deck off. Yep. Yep. Yep, see, look at all the crud that gets packed up in there, and you can't get to the grease fittings. The grease fittings right there. Wow. Okay, let's get this other cover off. There's only two holding this one. Ooh, that's going to be a 15 millimeter. Get this belt off here. Well, you don't really have to take that nut all the way off. Just back it off a little bit. Back it off enough to get this out like that. Let's see, we'll go ahead and get them blades taken off. Ooh, them things are in bad shape. Alrighty. Yeah, buddy, ain't nothing left of them. Goodness gracious, some things ought to be that much longer. Okay. Whew, terrible. Terrible. I ain't gonna just start cramming my hand up in there real quick. I guess we'll. enough. Good enough. Now what I'll do is let this oil be draining. Let me do something with that wiring harness right there. I don't want to drizzle it in oil. I'll just take a piece of wire. And just pull it out of the way over here. There's that. Loosen the dipstick. And we'll just be letting that drain. Go ahead and get the oil filter off of it. We're having a little drain thing. Good, it ain't real tight. Good. Usually if it's real tight, I have to use that 3-arm with a ratchet filter wrench. I like to take and just set this oil filter. I'll just take and set this like that. Just leave it out there for a little while, just let that thing drain. A lot of times I'll put it in a Ziploc bag after it drains all for a little while and put it in the trash. All right. Watch it fall over. All over. Don't cross thread. All right. And then what I'll do, I'll take this one after it's had a chance to fill up. Just let it hang out right there for a little while. Okay. Get the air filter off of there. Hairy elbow. Make sure you get the correct air filter, because this one is a 793/569, and you've also got a shorter one, which is the same thing, it's just a little bit shorter, and this is a 591/334. It'll fit, but it won't touch. You know, right here, and the air filter can slide off. It can and it will, and I've seen it done. See how it holds right there? Nice and tight. Well, I'm not going to put that on yet because we got to get this cover off to replace that carburetor. Getting ahead of myself. Oh, let's see. Go ahead and replace the spark plug while we're standing here. I don't know why I picked up such a long extension. That's just the one I grab every time I need one. Come on there, Mr. Spark Plug. How long are you? Yep. Grab a new one. Grab a new one and make sure it's gapped to about 30 thousandths. That's pretty good. Get this one started after I just bang into that with it. Let's see. Yep, I didn't close it. Click. All right. Okay, let's get this cover off here. That's going to be a 3/8. Let me go over here and find what to do with my ratchet. Now it'll take 3/8. And of course that one bolt is going to be back behind all this mess of fuel line. Find a good place to stick this. Somewhere out of the way. That's a good place. What I'm going to do, I usually just pull this fuel pump loose, but it's got those little plastic rivets, so I'm going to take this off. I may go ahead and pull this line here off. I might. Get your fuel line clamp. Find a good place to clamp it. Right in the eye. Yeah, that's nice. Right in the old eyeball. Okay, there's that one there. And we will have to get this off because this is going to stay with the cover. So we'll go ahead and pull all the lines off of it. And that's going to dribble. Let me get a pan. Get a pan, let it dribble. Dribble, dribble. And this is the pulse line going to the dipstick. That's where this engine gets his vacuum, is from the connection to the dipstick tube. And we'll go ahead and pull that fuel filter off since we're over here and get it out from around all this stuff. There we go. And get the pliers in there. There we go. Oh, let that drain. Pull that back. There's the fuel filter. Looks pretty nasty. Can't tell you when the last time that was probably changed. This tractor is 10 years old. The date code on the engine's a 14, so it's about 10 years old. I need to get that clamp off there. It's deformed. Yeah, that clamp is deformed. We're grabbing another clamp. Grab another clamp. It's a brand new clamp. All right. Get this bolt out of there. And these bolts you do have to take all the way out because it's a hole, it's not a slot. You can't just loosen the bolt and pull it off. You got to take the bolt all the way out. All the way. All right, let's go around to the other side. Go around to the other side. Ooh, can't get your fingers in there. Almost. Oh. Now we can get the cover off. Oh, we got one more screw. I about forgot about that. You got one more little 1/4-inch head screw right there. We gotta get that off. Because that's what holds that kind of supports the carburetor and intake. I see these screws missing all the time, and the cover broke, or they didn't realize there was a screw in there, and they just yanked it off. Where'd you go, little screw? There it is. Just a little screw. Now we can get it off. Perfect. Okay, I might as well go ahead and take the carburetor off since we're here. Don't forget about the vent line. I want to see who's going to be honest out there when I ask this question. How many times have you been putting these back together and get in a hurry and take this vent line and try to stick it on there thinking it's the fuel line? Yeah, you've done it. Can't lie to me, man. Okay, 7/16, and we're going to need 5/16. And of course you can't forget to unplug the crankcase vent line here. And that little thing right there always comes out with it. Hang on with that because that goes back in the hole. Where did it go? I heard it fall. There it is. I'm gonna have to undo this parking brake because that pedal is right in my way. Make sure that's still there and in good shape. Put your 5/16 on there. Oh, don't forget to unplug your solenoid. Here we go. And careful, because this goes into plastic. Take your choke linkage off, and then you can spin this thing around and you can get the throttle linkage off and the spring. Garbage. Okay, I don't see no rat nest or nothing in the cooling fins. Everything's nice and clean. Okay. Okay, what do we want to do next? We've already got the oil drain. I'm going to let it drip a little longer. I would rather just drain it with this. That way you get more out of it than just sticking a vacuum hose down in there. I'm just going to let that dribble. Dribble, dribble. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit pause because I'm going to put a tube in that. Y'all don't want to see the struggle. And I'm going to run up here to, I guess I'm going to run down the street to Lowe's and grab a new deck belt instead of ordering one. I've already got the carburetor and the blades ordered. I ordered them yesterday. They'll be in today sometime. They'll be in during this video. But I'm just going to run and just go buy another belt. That way we can get the OEM John Deere deck belt at Lowe's. Y'all hang with, man. We're going to be right back. GX20072 is that part number for the blade, for the belt. And I tell you, man, I really love this little Craftsman blower. I got it at Lowe's for 99 bucks. It comes with a 4 amp hour battery and charger. No, I'm not sponsored. I just roll this table out here, man. And just, that is the catch me out right there, boy. Yeah. All right, the carburetor and the belt and the blades ought to be in any moment. I got everything ready to go, and while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and get this tube put in there. Like I said, I ain't gonna make you watch me do that. I ain't gonna make you do that. But I am gonna set this little rubber cap. I'm gonna set it right here in the direct sunlight. That way it'll be nice and soft when you squeeze it back on. So y'all hang with, boys and girls. We're gonna get this tube put in this tire, and we are going to get all the parts in, and we're gonna start reassembly, man. Y'all hang with. All right, pow, we got the new blades in. Look at the difference between the old and the new. Eevee. I'd say that's a little wore out. Just a little bit. Well, let's take them on. There's one. There is one. Make sure you get it on that little pattern. Perfectly seated. What I like to do is put the blades together, and you can see the perfect across. Then I'll do the other side too. That lets you know your deck isn't bent. Perfect right there. Perfectly straight across. Okay. Okay. Now we'll give it a good greasing. Get the grease gun, and I'm gonna watch on top of the blades. Let me raise it back up just a little bit. That way you can peek in there at it. Let's get some grease. Get the grease gun. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm going to reach across here, come around this side, find the grease lip and wipe it off. Hope I got enough grease left in here. Now I want to keep my eye on the pulley on top, because it's either going to come out up there or it's going to come out here. Oh, it's coming out up there. Yep. It's coming out right under that pulley, right under there. I don't know how well you can see it, but we got to wipe that off because I don't want that stuff slinging and getting all over the new belt. Okay. Let's give this one a greasing. There's a reason for the greasing. All right. I happen to hold it on there pretty tight because it's starting to come up around the fitting. Fixing to push it off that jack stand, I'm afraid. Anything? Yep, there it is. It's coming out down here. Good. Goody, goody. Goody, goody. Now let's grab a rag. Grab a rag and wipe off the excess. And then we'll come over here. I'll tell you, I've gotten grease all over this tripod. Reach under there and wipe all that goo off there. Well, I just kind of smeared it. Okay, that's pretty clean here. All right. Throw this in the garbage before I end up all over me. Yuck. All right, now we'll let the deck down and put the new belt on it and put the covers back on it. Y'all hang with. Alrighty, while we're greasing, before we put the grease gun up, I want to hit these front wheels, the front steering spindles, and on John Deere, you've got one right in the middle of that beam, that front suspension. Right in the middle. Right on that pivot point. Yeah, stick some grease in here. Reach over here and look. There it goes. I seen that outer cap plump up. Fitting right there. Oh, there it goes. Coming out right there. Get that front spindle. I see the little cap plump up. Get this one. There it goes. We'll push that cap right off. All right, get the one in the middle. And I'll look right down the beam and you can see it coming out. Yep, I see it coming out inside that tube. Oh boy. Put that air hose over there. Or just fall on the floor. And while we're over here, the new carburetor come in. We're going to stick it on real quick. That deck belt has yet to get here, so it should be here today. Should be here today. Raise this camera up. Alrighty. We'll put the carburetor back on. Let me hit pause. I gotta go find it. Alright, before I forget. 6 of 2024. Can't see the hours. Let me lower the table so I can look at the hour meter. Even though this thing's 10 years old, it don't have a whole lot of hours. It ain't got like 100. It's got 110 hours on it. So we'll route that on there too. 110.6 hours. Oh boy. I still ain't put the oil back in it yet though. That's why I leave the dipstick out. So we knew. Okay. Pow, new carburetor. Carburetor. Put the little spring in. I like to put the spring in first. See if I can do it without having to use my needle nose yet. I'll tell you, that engagement cable was right in my way. And then get your throttle linkage hooked up. Put your choke back on there, your choke lever linkage. Okay. Just gonna let it sit there. New gasket. And like I said, be very careful. This goes into plastic. There's no metal insert in this one. Some of them had it, but not this one. Very easy. Okay, good enough. Know when to stop. All right, don't forget this. Come out of here. Get a rag and clean that off. Give it a wipey. Look at that vent line hanging out right there like it wants to go there. Ah, you're not going to fool me, buddy. Get your crankcase vent line hooked up to the manifold. One nut goes on there on the inside. A little bit. Now I'm going to operate this choke and make sure it don't hang up. Because you know sometimes that choke plate can rub the inside of this manifold and stick and make it run bad. Alright, that goes there. Okay. Now we are going to put cover back on it so we can get all the fuel lines and the new fuel filter reinstalled. And that's, oh, don't forget to plug in your fuel solenoid. Turn the key on, make sure it clicks. Yep, she's clicking away. Okay. Grab my 3/8 socket. I gotta remember what I did with the cover. Stuck it back here. When you put this cover back on, you gotta make sure that goes on the outside of this. You don't want to cram that in there like that, because that will hit and break these fins off. And you got to make sure right in here, this cool tin, outside, inside, inside, outside, inside. Make sure it goes on correctly. See how it's wanting to go on the inside? Don't let it do that. You'll break them fins off every time. Let's go to this side here and kind of work it down. It's got to go over the manifold. Down yonder like that. Back over here. Grab a flashlight. And let's see, I'm gonna let y'all get a gander of this. See how that's got to go up in that plastic? Try not to bend this thing down too far, because you will put a bend in it. I'm gonna have to use both hands to do this. There it goes. All right. That's how it goes, just like that. Otherwise it'll be flopping and banging around and not getting good cooling. Back around here. Now we'll get the bolts back in it. Put the fuel line back together with a new fuel filter. Let's see, the ones, let me make sure I'm putting these bolts in right, because the ones in the back have a longer shoulder than the ones in the front. You got 2 and 2. Let me see what I did with the other one. There it is. I'll go ahead and get this one over here started since I'm over here. And always get them started by hand. You don't want to strip them. Get these started. That one's going to be right behind that fuel pump. Right over there. I'll try to screw them in as far as I can by finger. That way you don't have to sit there with a ratchet. Ratchet away. And tighten her down. Not over time. You don't strip it out. A little bit. Spin the engine over, make sure nothing's inside of there. Hitting the flywheel. All right, now for the fun part. This is always the fun part for me. Putting all the fuel line back on there. Appreciate whoever got me the flashlight, and you know who you are. Pow. This thing is awesome. Okay, let's see. This one here is going to go down to the fuel filter. Go ahead and put the fuel filter on there first. I may have to cut some of that fuel line off because this new filter is so long. Try not to give you the hairy elbow. Just got to go back behind and under that. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut a lot of this back. Looks like it's sent some of this fuel line down back inside the chassis. I think that's what I'll do. Uh-oh, just knocked the flashlight over. All right. See that? I got the fuel filter on backwards. I didn't bother to look. It'd still run, it wouldn't matter much, but it would still work, but it's just my pet peeve. It's just my pet peeve. Don't you love these things? All right, arrow in the right direction now. That's a nice little cradle. Nice place for that filter. Right back in the same spot it was. And get your pulse line installed. Perfectamundo. Do I want it like that or do I want it like that? Nope, I want it like that. All right, there we go. One more thing, that little screw. Yep. Don't forget the little screw that goes right behind this manifold. It goes into the manifold. See, without the screw in there, see how this thing can, see how it can bounce and kind of bounce around. That ain't good. Now it's stable. I see so many of those missing. All right, now we're gonna add the oil and crank it up and run it. Let's do it. I bet y'all wish y'all had $1 every time y'all watch me video doing this. I get $1 every time I do it. Let me raise the camera a little bit, y'all can see a little better. All right, that's been exactly 1 quart. Here's the mark. Kind of check it on the way up. And we're almost to the add mark. So we'll keep going. We'll go a little bit past full because that oil filter's got to fill up after it cranks. Oh, I just dribbled oil. That's all right, we're going to give it a good cleaning. We're just before the full mark. A little more. Okay, we'll give that just a minute to settle. While I let that settle, I'm going to set the parking brake back. There we go. It's just barely over full. I'm going to add a little bit more to it. All right, now we'll fire it up. Check for leaks. That's good. Let's see, we'll come back around here because I may have to bottle feed it till that fuel pump starts pulling and filling that fuel filter up. I get to use my flashlight again. I got that for Christmas. Johnny Reagan knows who he is, and I appreciate it. See if I can wedge this thing in or something. I want to watch that fuel filter fill up. Ooh, is it blinding you? That's more good to set it. That's a good place to set it right there. All I want to do is illuminate the inside of that filter. Let's see. Everything's good. Dial it down. I can see the fuel filter full. No leaks, that's good. That thing, it sure sounds better than it did this morning, don't it? Woo, I thought it was going to shake itself to pieces, man. That's not good for that anti-vibration device inside that engine to lug like that, and man, it's dangerous. Alrighty, we are good. We are good. No fuel leaks anywhere. We're going to let it set overnight, of course, like I always do before I make sure it's safe to give back. Now we'll let the oil settle for a minute and check it. It should be right on full. If not, we'll add more. Right on full. But I am going to give it one more good gulp. Just a little bit. just a little bit. Now we will put that new air filter in it and get the cover back on. Air filter cover. Alrighty, carburetor. Change the oil, new spark plug, new air filter, new fuel filter. I'd already put a tube in this one. You didn't have to watch me do that. I got tired of y'all poking fun at me trying to do it, so I ain't gonna video it no more. All right, as soon as we get that belt in here, man, we're gonna put the belt back on, tighten these two pulleys back down, get the covers on it, slide it under there. And I believe this tractor's gonna be good to go. Take it out there and give it a good washing. These pulleys feel real good. Before I put the deck back on, I need to crawl under here and really good and double check her pulleys and drive belt real good before I, oh, that's not a drive belt. I grabbed that bar thinking that was the belt. Belt looks pretty good from what I can see. Pulleys feel good. All right. Alrighty. Y'all hang with, man. That belt's ought to be here in a minute. We're going to slap it on. Hang with. Pow! GX20072. The belt is in. The belt is in. The belt is in. Okay. There it is. There it is. Stick the covers back on. Let me grab, oh, there it is. Hoo-ha. All right, here we go. There we go. Now we'll slide the deck back under it. Put it back together, take it outside, run it, give it a washing. Y'all hang with. Let's do it. We'll start on this side over here and get this cable reinstalled first. Firsties, let me lower the camera down. Let's see, that's got to go through there like yonder, under that right there, in the hole right there, and in there just like that. It does. All right. Alright, put a big washer on there. Put a big old clip on there. Get my big old head in the way. There's that one. This one goes up yonder. This one goes in here. On the hole. Where's the hole? Right there. Go ahead and get the belt back on it. Hunky-dory, everything looks hunky-dory. It does. So far, so good. All right. That one goes there with that washer and that pin. That washer goes there with that pin. I like to put the pins in that way, because if you hit something, you won't knock it out. It won't. Okay, that's it. That's it. Now let's lower it down, fire it up, and engage the deck. Everything's here. Take one more gander under here. Everything looks good. Everything's greased, put together correctly. Well, we got another one knocked out. Boys and girls, thanks for watching another Tom Dovey video. Get the hood back on it. Give it a little cleaning. And she's good to go. She is good to go. I know that was a long video there. We've done a lot to it. All right, boys and girls, thanks for watching another Tom Dovey video. Tell somebody I love them. Y'all be good, and I will catch y'all on the next one, man. Love y'all.